Alright, today we're dealing with P0351. Bad ignition coil, or so the trouble code would say. I have given it a full tune-up, replaced the coil, replaced the pickup coil, cap, rotors, plugs, wires, just about anything you can do on the ignition system out here. Problem we're having? Shuts off, just stalls. Doesn't spit, doesn't sputter, just shuts off. Now, I have moved all the wires, sprayed wires, you name it, I have done it. But we trace it down to the ECU. Now, it's a known fact that some of the solder joints in the ECU come undone. I have followed a lot of the repairs on YouTube, and it has come down to having to pull the brains apart and resolder these connections. Problem is, this is a daily driver. Thank you. Problem is, this is a daily driver, so when all is said and done with, this thing has to run. Has to. There's no two ways around it. I can take the brains out and resolder the joints, but I'm lousy at soldering, especially trying to fix a solder joint. Now somebody say, oh, soldering's easy. Some things just don't work right. So what we have decided to do was to fork out the money and get a remanufactured ECU. Let me show you what it's going to take to get into there at it, and take you along for the whole process. Now luckily, this being a 97, the ECU is not VIN specific, meaning you don't have to reprogram or reflash anything. It should be strictly a plug and play scenario. So let's get you down here and show you what we have to do. Your main obstacle is your overflow. Now luckily for me, I've had this apart already. I had not put everything back together. So what we have right now, one 10mm bolt here and two 10mm nuts down there to hold the rest of the overflow in. Now I suggest pulling it completely out, because once you undo those three pieces of hardware, the only thing holding you back in is this hose, and let me tell you, it's easy enough just to move it out of the way. Now some sharp-eyed viewers may have noticed that I pulled the bracket up with it, only because the one stud on the bracket is spinning, so I unbolted the bracket instead of unbolting the rest of the overflow. Now what you have here now is your computer, which is held in with 3 bolts, 2 on this side, 1 that side, and 3 wiring harness connectors. Now I can tell you for a fact that bottom one down here is going to be a pain, because it's tough to get in there if you have big hands. But I've had this apart already, and I don't have that bolt in. I'm cheating here. Sue me. They are 8mm heads. The connectors should just press and pull. Press down, pull. Press down and pull. Come on. I'm not pushing down all the way. There we go. Now it's very difficult to get these screwed up because they are kind of stuck in position. Those two can move out of that way. And this one can get tucked up over here, out of your way. Just tucking that up out of my way. Now you can get to these, well, for you guys, 3 bolts, for me 2. And these bolts or screws are these fasteners. There you go. There you go. These fasteners are quite on the long side, and they're screwed into plastic, so be patient with them. You know what I mean? They are quite long. All right. Here's ECU. Looks pretty nice, don't it? Engine bay is not someplace for a unit like this, but sadly, that's where it's at. Now, you'll notice on here, this cover is missing. I had all my numbers on it. These 2 screws, which were one of the repairs, you undo these 2 screws and that relieves some of the pressure on the solder joints inside here. These tabs hold this plate on, but this is not just strictly a cover plate. Inside here is a circuit board with connectors, with a long connector, not that long, that clips into the circuit board that's inside this gel. You see this gel right here? That's some nasty stuff. One of the repairs is to take the entire unit out of this housing, which requires using a propane torch to heat this up to soften this gel. I ain't having that. What we will do is replace this with a remanufactured unit. Here we go. Let's show you what we got here. It was from Cardon. I bought it off of Rock Auto. Now, this is specifically for this vehicle particularly. Now, what I mean is, you will need to know if you have the California emission or federal emission system. And well, how can I tell? How do I know which is which? What I'm going to do is I'm going to put up some text here on the screen. It's a website you go to. You type in the website, and then you type in your VIN number. You hit send, and it gives you a PDF of your VIN decoding. Alright, the VIN decoding website. It's strictly for Jeeps. You will need to make sure that your caps lock is on, because all the numbers, all the letters have to be capitalized, otherwise you'll get an error. It's usually on the second page of the PDF that you are given. It'll tell you if you have California or federal emissions. This one is a California, even though it did come from New York. New York has the same system, so they just call it a California. So let's open up and show you what we got. Now, before we go anywhere, Here is the ID plate. Let's see if we can get you in down there. All right. There we go. You're not going to be able to see them because I'm moving it around. When you order your ECU, at least from Rock Auto, there will be a more info button. You click on that, that'll open up a separate web browser page, and it'll take you to the Cardone site. That's Cardone. It'll take you to the Cardone site, and it will tell you, you know, these numbers, if these numbers here are compatible with the one you are looking at. If they do not match, don't order it. Go to the other, because there will only be two options, California or federal. Go to the other and look to see if your VIN or the part number here is compatible. That one's compatible. And if you're wondering, this used to be up here. Oh. Do not lose this. I am planning on putting this in the glove box when we are done. Alright, now it goes without saying, you disconnect the battery before you do any of this. I should have said that from the beginning. Disconnect the battery. You don't want to be plugging that in if there is any electric in the system. It can mess it up. Now, this is a professionally rebuilt unit, and hopefully they know how to do their job. So this is strictly going to be a bolt-in unit. So let's get him bolted back in here with least amount of effort. Whew. There. Now all there's left to do is to plug the connectors back in. Making sure you hear the click. When you hear the click, you know that it is in properly. I'm just going to wipe these two connectors off because I had dielectric grease on them. Get the excess off. Okay. There we go. They're all clipped in. Make sure they're in nice and firmly. Now, do a quick inspection, make sure everything is where it's supposed to be. Everything there looks good. Now, right now he's ice cold, so I'm not going to worry about putting the overflow in just yet. We're going to hook our battery up, go in, insert the key, say a little prayer, you know, pray to whatever superior being you pray to, and hope it fires up. Sweet. Now, you'll hear squeaky. That's the belt. About 2 days ago, I got a call at work. She threw the fan belt. So, in a bind, I took my old one from Double D and put it in there, and it's just a squeaky belt. We'll deal with that later. One of the things you need to do is we will end up putting the reservoir back in there. You need to take this thing for a spin. when we are positive that that ECU will be in tip-top working order, we may do an autopsy on the old one. So, let me get the reservoir back in, get you guys on your stand here, and we'll take him for a little toot around town, as Eric would say. Was that a toot? Yeah, we're taking a toot around town. So, see you in a few minutes. Alright, just got back from going to the Advanced Auto and getting a brand new belt, because let me tell you, was so squeaky I couldn't turn the radio up loud enough. And no check engine light. Sweet. Fires right up. Alright, there we go. Replacement of an ECU and a 97 GJ 4-liter. New belt. Sweet. If you haven't already, do me a favor and subscribe to my channel. We do stuff like this all the time. While you're down there, click the bell icon. That will give you a notification every time I post new content on my channel. If you have anything to say, comments, questions, concerns, criticism, post them in the comment box below. Love to hear from you. So, till next time, I'm Mike. Shall catch you guys later.